Alrighty, everyone, it's time. Hello, everyone. It's me, Fable, your new best friend. I'm reacting to my favorite Autobot, CliffJumper. He's one of my favorite boys. I love him. He's amazing. He gets screwed over way too much in a lot of continuities, and I hate it. But thanks to what's going on in Skybound Comics, he's actually getting a fair shot. Sadly, they had to offline Bumblebee to do so, but yeah, at this point, I don't know, man. I'm just happy we have something, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's watch my boy.
Time for a popular request from the comments section this week as we take a look at the history of the little red Autobot who everyone always seems to think is just Bumblebee in different colors.
That's rude.
CliffJumper. The toy that would become the original CliffJumper was first released in the Japanese toy line Microchange in 1983. The figure transformed into a super deformed Porsche 924 Turbo sports car and was imported by Hasbro to become part of the first year of the Transformers toy line in 1984. CliffJumper was one of the line's small-scale Autobot mini-vehicles.
He's a mini-bot.
Released in both red and yellow variants. But pretty much all the marketing made it clear that red was his real color.
Yeah.
CliffJumper's toy shared engineering with his fellow Autobot Bumblebee. The two toys transformed the same way, but they were otherwise totally different, with Bumblebee
They're both
turning
mini-bots,
into a
like I said.
Volkswagen Beetle. But their similarity earned CliffJumper a reputation among fans as just being a Bumblebee recolor.
That's rude.
Incorrect view of the character that would hang over him in years to come. While developing a profile for CliffJumper, Marvel Comics writer Bob Budiansky initially named him Blowout before changing it. He was characterized as a speedy and daring little warrior who really hated Decepticons and was always so eager to wade into battle that he sometimes bit off more than he could chew.
Oh, yeah, no. After watching G1, yeah, it's painfully obvious that fits his personality to a T.
Signature weapon was his glass gas, which could make metal as brittle as glass. Writing this profile was about all Budiansky ever did with CliffJumper though, as the character never got to do very much in the Marvel comic itself, beyond dousing the Decepticon jets with glass gas in the first issue. CliffJumper enjoyed a larger role in the Transformers animated series, appearing semi-regularly throughout the show's first two seasons, voiced by actor Casey Kasem.
Look at Megatron. I'm gonna blast that smile off his faceplate.
He played a memorable part in the series' pilot episode, working with Hound to locate the Decepticons soon after the Transformers' awakening on Earth. And he shared the spotlight with Mirage in Traitor, a showcase episode for the pair in which a series of unfortunate coincidences and misunderstandings wrongly convinced CliffJumper that Mirage was secretly working for the Decepticons.
No.
This episode presented CliffJumper as surly, short-tempered, and quick to suspicion, something he wasn't in the rest of the series. But as one of his biggest roles, it proved very influential on the popular perception of his character, and later series have often depicted CliffJumper with these traits. CliffJumper's toy was discontinued in 1986, which led to him being phased out of both the comic and the cartoon. In the comic, he was one of several Autobots knocked offline by a Decepticon-controlled copy of Optimus Prime. In stories exclusive to the United Kingdom's version of the comic, he had a different fate, taken out by the Decepticons while searching for the rogue Dinobots.
No, Gears died too?
He took his final bow in The Transformers the Movie, in which he and Jazz were consumed along with Cybertron's first moon by the monster planet Unicron.
Aww, why are you guys so mean?
Unicron during the film's climax, but he didn't make any further appearances in the cartoon afterwards.
Oh god, at least he didn't die. My beautiful boy.
It wasn't until the early 2000s that CliffJumper's name would be heard again, when Hasbro experimented with reusing the name on new, completely different characters unrelated to the original. 2002's Transformers Armada.
Who is that?
Female CliffJumper, a quiet, withdrawn minicon scientist who turned into an off-road pickup truck, partnered with the Autobot Cheetor. Armada's 2004 sequel series, Energon, featured its own CliffJumper. This one, a sleek Autobot Dune buggy, characterized as a thrill-seeking stunt
No,
driver
no, I'm gonna be honest, I love my red boy. He's beautiful.
to take unnecessary risks. As seen in the Energon cartoon, this CliffJumper served under the elderly Autobot Bulkhead, alongside fellow young warrior Downshift. But this experimentation proved short-lived. In 2006, the original
Ooh.
CliffJumper returned with a new toy in the Transformers
I mean,
Classics
I
line.
liked it.
This
I don't know
figure
about like
was
the
a
silver
straight
sprites
recolor
though.
of the Classics Bumblebee toy, finally turning CliffJumper into the B recolor that many people thought he already was. This set Cliff on a track he continues on to this day. He's
Yeah.
become the go-to recolor for Bumblebee toys, with
Which I hate because CliffJumper and Bumblebee may share a similar design in the original, but they're not the same. They're different characters. CliffJumper gets screwed over way too much, guys. I hate it. He's a good boy. Let him have his moment.
every new version of the character being just a recolor of a concurrent bee. Maybe getting a new head if he's lucky. After Classics
I hate
came
it.
2007's live-action
Oh
movie
my
toy
god,
line,
it's
and its
literally just
spin-offs and
Bumblebee
sequels, which
recolored.
featured numerous CliffJumper recolors of
It's literally just Bumblebee, but recolored to CliffJumper's colors. That is outrageous. That is egregious.
different Bumblebee toys. Then the Transformers animated cartoon in 2008, in which CliffJumper made a few brief appearances as a member of the Autobot Intelligence Division on Cybertron. It was in comic books that CliffJumper had some of his more notable adventures this decade, with highlights including a starring role in Fun Publications' Shattered Glass series that saw him transported from his world into a mirror universe of evil Autobots and heroic Decepticons, and a self-titled Spotlight one-shot.
I read this. Oh my god, dude. It is so good. But I'm not gonna lie. After watching G1 and seeing like the freaking like seeing how different he is in it, like in the sense of I can't words. Give me a second. Seeing the tonal shift, there you go. Seeing the tonal shift from him being like a really great warrior trying to take out the Decepticons to him just murking off some Decepticons was whiplash, dude. It was, oh my god, the whiplash was real.
IDW Publishing, in which he temporarily found peace and escaped from the war after being stranded on an alien planet with a pair of native children. He also enjoyed a significant appearance in 2012's Fall of Cybertron video game, which paid homage to the Transformers the movie by teaming him up with Jazz for a mission to the Sea of Rust. But the series that really helped CliffJumper stand out as his own unique character for the first time since the original was 2010's Transformers Prime. This series' incarnation of CliffJumper had an entirely original design, totally separate from Bumblebee, with a muscle car alternate mode. He was a bigger, tougher version of the character, jovial, bantering, and happy-go-lucky, who had befriended the Autobot loner RC when they escaped Decepticon captivity together.
Look at him. Look at that smile.
Cliff featured prominently in promotional material for the Prime cartoon, and with movie star Dwayne Johnson cast to perform his voice, the
Wait,
series
seriously?
was set to be his big moment in the sun.
You want the horns? You got 'em.
So audiences were pretty shocked when it all turned out to be a bait and switch, and CliffJumper died at the hands of Starscream in...
See what I mean? See what I mean? Every time we get him, he gets screwed over in so many continuities. Why? Why?
the first episode. Worse yet, the Decepticons subsequently experimented on his remains with Dark Energon, briefly resurrecting him as a mindless TerrorCon zombie. His death would haunt RC for the rest of the series, and though his time on the show was short, several figures of him were released in the Prime toy line,
That's
including both his
bullshit.
regular and zombie forms.
I hate it.
CliffJumper didn't have another major appearance until 2018's Bumblebee movie.
And then they killed him off.
Saw him killed by Decepticon Shatter and Dropkick, combined with Prime, and an appearance in ID.
Can you guys feel my pain? Do you guys understand how much I hate this? Because Jesus. Oh my god. I can't. Why?
W's Unicron comic book the same year, in which he was one of many Transformers killed by the Monster Planet, the film seems to have given him a
Why?
reputation as a character who dies all the time. But that's not really true. What is true is that despite the strides Prime made, old associations die hard, as the film returned to once again depicting Cliff as sharing a body design with Bumblebee. Transformers media itself has even recently started to make jokes about the character's resemblance, most notably a comedic story in the Transformers Galaxies comic book in 2020, which presented CliffJumper as having lived his entire life in Bumblebee's shadow,
That's
constantly
just
being mistaken for him. The
wow.
story took CliffJumper to the planet Probat, where the inhabitants worshipped Bumblebee, until Cliff became their new hero after he saved them from the evil
I'm glad
Saurus.
you won, CliffJumper.
Also in 2020, CliffJumper had a brief cameo in Netflix's War for Cybertron animated series, and got a new toy in the Earthrise toy line. But
That's a
while
pretty
the
cool
cartoon
design.
made him just another red bee, for the first time in years, the toy wasn't a recolor of a pre-existing Bumblebee.
Oh, thank
but
God.
a brand new figure based on CliffJumper's original Porsche toy, and even came with the giant bazooka he used in the original cartoon's first episode. And later in the year, it would be retooled and recolored to create a new Bumblebee figure
Oh my
instead of the other way
God.
around.
Oh,
Bumblebee
sweet
might
lord.
be inextricably linked, but it looks like there's hope yet that this feisty little Autobot can change his fortunes and make fans realize that he's more than just another recolor. And those are the basics on CliffJumper. Tell me in the comments which version's your favorite. Don't forget to subscribe and check out over 100
I'm dying,
videos on
guys.
Transformers.
I'm dying. That was painful. My poor boy. He doesn't deserve any of that. I'm glad the Skybound Comics is giving him justice. He deserves it. Anyway, like this kind of content, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to check out Chris McFreely, please and thank you. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be able to do this. If you guys want to support me, I'll put my Ko-Fi link in the description. Only really donate if you're feeling generous. You don't have to. I do this for fun, and yeah, if you guys want to just be generous or whatever, go for it. If not, that's completely fine. Bye.